Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 3 of the Money Attraction Challenge. Oh my goodness, I'm just besides myself for what we're going to talk about money trauma today, and also watching you guys the last 2 days playing full out. I'm so incredibly proud of all of you. This is a journey like no other. I know, we've got tons of, I always say this, there's tons of challenges, tons of master classes, tons of all the things out there, webinars and seminars. We don't have live events anymore. But one of the things that I love about the way we roll in the Money family is that we just have these authentic conversations around money. We talk about the things that aren't necessarily so nice and fluffy. We talk about the fluffy things too and all the inspiring and hopeful stuff. But where my intention, at least, is that you guys feel like we're having some real conversations, some real breakthrough moments, some transformational moments in this money journey that we're all on, trying to figure out, the bits and pieces that we can change and change them. So welcome to day 3. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys for being here, for being on last night. If you watched last night, first of all, I want to say thank you to those of you who took the time to send me personal messages, just expressing your gratitude, for the energy of that call, getting to hear from other women who you could relate to and see what they have done in their lives and what's possible for you too. I got so many messages just saying, oh my gosh, Tasha, that was so high energy. I'm so lit up. People messaging me saying, I want to do the program again now that I'm remembering what it's like to be in there and what's possible. So if you guys watched last night, we went live at 6 p.m. So I know it was either probably a little bit too late for some people, or maybe some people didn't even realize that we were on live. Would you guys go ahead, those of you that watched it live, I'm going to check the comments. Those of you that watched it live, would you go ahead and just share something about it, like it was inspiring, so that everybody who didn't see it can go back and find it and make sure that you watch it, because I'm telling you what, I got off and I literally had to sit on my couch for a good hour to just come down off of the high from listening to the 5 women who shared. And everyone's story was so different. But the thing was, they all said, I started here, I did what you said to do, and my life is unbelievably amazing today. Right? So I want you guys to see what's possible. If you didn't watch it, Regina says it was eye-opening and very good. It was awesome. Real women, real stories. Clara said, I saw me. Amy said it inspired me. Barbara, love Barbara's here. Hang on. Barbara said, giving up the how was her biggest takeaway. Nora says it was a breakthrough. It was awesome to hear the different breakthroughs. Mildred, last night was great. So thank you guys for sharing. Hopefully those of you that missed it, you're inspired to go find it. You just want to go into the Money Attraction Community Facebook page and do a search for day 2 bonus, and you'll find the video. All right. Make sure you watch it. Today, I also asked those of you that watched last night, I said, your homework was to get clarity on what was your dream life. You guys will remember the last person that shared was Jackie, and Jackie got really clear. Again, Jackie's story was, wasn't necessarily that she was in lack financially. She was doing okay for herself. She's a chiropractor, has a long-standing business, but she just realized that she had put all these limits on herself and made some agreements about money that she needed to work really hard for it. And she didn't even know why she had made that agreement. Didn't even know. But she realized while she was on the journey that she really needed to become clear about what was the life that she really wanted. And in the program, we did that together. And my favorite thing about Jackie, she's like, you know what I got the most clear on? On Fridays, I want to be in my swimsuit by the water. There's got to be a glass of something yummy in my hand, and I'm just financially free Friday, easy and relaxed. I mean, that level of clarity, and she's manifested it. She's and she said she manifested 150,000, her dream house by the water. She's getting ready to transform her entire life because she now knows what she deserves. All of the material stuff is amazing. But Jackie is living her dream life. And so was everyone on that call last night, just sharing the miracle of being on this journey. And I asked you all, start thinking about what your dream life really entails. What do you really want from life? What do you really want life to look like? Are you living that today? Because clarity is everything. Being crystal clear. Sometimes people say, Tasha, I don't know what I want. I really don't know what I want. And my answer is this. You might not know if you want a 5-bedroom house with 4 bathrooms and a half a bathroom and a wraparound balcony and a 3.5 car garage with you might not know that level of detail. But I promise you, what you all know is how you want to feel in life. That you can be crystal clear on, and you can start building from there. And while we're in the program, we'll help you put that vision together so that in no time you're back on here sharing your own testimonial, which this is what gives me the most joy, is to hear the stories as people transform. So I want to hear, what will be your testimony next time? Next time I do this challenge, those of you that are about to start this journey with us, this 120-day journey, that today is officially opening. We're opening the doors to start welcoming those of you that are ready. But what are you going to come back on here and share as your story? Think about that right now. What are you going to say? When I did the challenge, this is where I was. This is what I was thinking. I was at the end of my rope. I had tried everything, and I just knew when I listened to everybody else talk, heck, why not me? Why can't that? I want that. I want that life. In fact, I deserve that life. And I just hung on for dear life. I went, I did this program, and I am here to tell you and inspire the next people that are going to be just where you are right now with how you've changed your life in a few months. Start thinking about what your story is going to be. All right. So here we go. Clara says, yes, transformation. This is a strong support system. This is a community. This is a family. That's why we say, hey, money family, because we are family here. So you guys, how did you spend your $88,000? What did you buy it on? This was the one I filled out the fastest today on my little tracker. I filled that one out really fast today because I knew exactly what I was going to buy. A fully loaded Q8, fully loaded, paid in full. Like, I want everything. I want, when I drive down the road, you see me. I might get metallic red, as a matter of fact. Might have a custom color for all I know. But I was really clear what I was going to do. So what are you guys going to spend your $88,000 on? I want to see. Oh, somebody bought a Mercedes Benz. I love it. Come on, you guys, fill up the comments. Let's see. Ooh, Amawami got her Maserati. I love it. A fully loaded Chevy something again. Oh, Chevy Tahoe. Told you guys I need those glasses. I have to put those on so I can see the comments. But that was absolutely amazing. I want to tell you guys that I have something. I love it. Range Rovers. You guys are buying some awesome luxury cars. I love it. So I want you guys, I want to share something amazing that I have in store for you. Tomorrow, I managed to convince one of the most incredible women in my life. This woman was the first time I had ever had a physical experience of being around somebody so wealthy, like money that's beyond my imagination, like generational wealth. Being able to meet her, become her friend, be inspired by her, set on this path because of a book that her and her husband gave to me. And I asked her, would she join us tomorrow to share with you guys her story from where she was just like us, where we are right now. In fact, she was way off worse than many of us are right now, and how she got to multi-millions using this, everything that I'm teaching you. So get really excited. Make sure you're here tomorrow at 12. Make sure you invite all kinds of friends. Let me just tell you, good luck sleeping tonight, because this woman comes with electrifying energy. She's a tiny little thing, but you want to be here tomorrow. You want to be here on Friday. Friday, I'm going to talk about becoming the goose that lays all the golden eggs. We want to transform from chasing the golden egg to becoming the goose. What does that mean? I'm going to show you how to go back to full control of your finances, right? So you want to be here tomorrow at 12 to meet my friend. And tomorrow we're talking about wealth is your birthright. I'm going to get that into you till you own it like you own it, like you own it. You're going to walk around chest out like wealth is my birthright. And then on Friday, you want to be here at 12. That's day 5. So it's the last day of this amazing journey. And I'm going to wrap things up with sharing with all of you what you need to do to be in full control of your finances. All right. So I want to see you guys are going to be here. I'm going to show you how to make yourselves into ATMs. That's what I want to be. I want to be the goose that lays all the golden eggs. I want to make myself into an ATM. So with that, we have a winner to choose. A winner to choose. So we took all the names of everyone who referred friends into this challenge. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for trusting me and our team enough that you would want your friends and your family to have this money challenge experience, for believing enough in this message that you have the desire to change all these people's lives, that you were willing to invite them to this challenge, and that you trust me to share this message with the people that you care the most about. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we promised that there was going to be a winner for a VIP money retreat with me. So it's a random list of names. They sent me a random list of names. I grabbed 10 of them. I have them right in here and right in front of your eyes so you can see I'm being fair and square. I'm going to pick one. And this person right here is the winner of this VIP retreat. You ready? Is it you? Is it you? Did you refer friends? Every single entry got you entered for a chance to win this. All right, so here we go. Feels like Christmas morning. Guys, ready? Yeah? Who's claiming it? Who's ready? Who's ready? Here we go. Denise McKeezy. Oh my God. Woo! Denise Money Manifesting McKeezy. I sure hope she's watching. Oh my God, that is so awesome. Me and Denise, we're going to spend some VIP retreat time talking about money. I cannot wait. So everyone congratulate Denise. Please, those of you that are her friends, go ahead and give her a big shout out. So happy for her. And really excited to see what she gets to come back and share. Thanks to all of you, though, and every single one of you that referred a friend were entered to win. And it's a chance thing, and Denise got it this time. We're always going to give you opportunities to get that, though, so keep watching. Okay, you guys. Today we're going to be talking about money trauma. And those of you that have done the challenge before, you know that this money trauma conversation, this is one of those that of the 5 days, it's going to be the one that shows you the most things you don't know about your subconscious mind that's impacting your money. That's my purpose in having this money attraction challenge. It's not just to tell you, we can attract money and the law of attraction, like that is great and it works. But what about the stuff that's like the opposite energy of all of that attracting, that's working more powerfully and you don't know? So I'm going to ask you guys, there were so many of you that came into this challenge because you saw an ad for money trauma. It said healing your money trauma so you can achieve financial freedom. We have so many people that responded to that ad. And when the team told me, I was really surprised because I thought to myself, I didn't realize anybody knew about money trauma. So just because I want to learn about what you guys know about it so far, if you could just, those of you that's how you got here, you saw an ad about money trauma, if you could just share in the comments, what was it that you understood? Did you understand what that was, or did it just like resonate and you're like, I feel like I have some money traumas. I want to hear more about this. You were like curious? I was curious. I've never heard about money traumas and I just wanted to learn more about it. I would love to hear from you because it's so insightful for me and it's going to help me with this conversation today if I know where most of you are coming from with this money trauma thing. So if you could go ahead and type in the comments and let me know, I'm going to be looking for that. Rose says, I had never heard of it. Okay, I already knew I have money trauma, Lisa says. Desiree, I was curious. Awesome. I understood it and wanted to get past it, Paula said. It definitely resonated with me. All right, so I'm getting a good feel. I'm getting a good feel of where you guys are. Thank you for posting and letting me know. What was it about seeing that ad that really resonated with you guys? I'm very interested because that helps me to serve you at a deeper level. And so right now I want to ask you a question. I'm going to ask you which one of these is where you are at right now. Right? So I'm going to label them A, B, or C. And I just want you to type in the comments, this is where that one, Tasha, that is me. Right now or lately, maybe not necessarily in this moment because we've been in such high energy in the money vortex here for the last couple of days. But what led me to do this, Tasha, is I've just had this feeling like I am in a washing machine when it comes to money. Like literally inside my head, it's just like I'm spinning around and around and around in this washing machine. I try to go to bed at night and my head just won't stop going and going and going. It's like I'm trying to crack this money code thing, trying to figure out my finances, trying to find my way out. But I just, my head, gosh, if I could just stop my head for a moment from all this thinking and worrying about money. If that's how you're feeling or you've been feeling, I want you to type A and say, that's where I'm at, Tasha. Maybe when it comes to your money, it feels like you're just on this hamster wheel. You're just like this, running and running and running around on this hamster wheel. You're trying to get somewhere and then you realize I'm not really getting anywhere. Right? So that's B. I'm doing all these things to get somewhere, but Tasha, when I stop for a moment and look at my life and where I am today, I'm not really getting anywhere. Money hasn't gotten any easier for me. In fact, what I realize, I start running faster on the wheel. I'm working harder, grinding more, right? I'm at B. I'm just like, I'm not where I want to be. And it doesn't feel like I'm getting there. All I know is I'm exhausted from being on this hamster wheel in my finances. So if that's you, I want you guys to type B. That's where I'm at. The other one is C. Does it ever feel like you're on a roller coaster? It's like you have these moments where you're building, you're doing all the right things, you're saving, you got a job increase, salary increase, you got new clients, your business is growing. Oh my gosh, you got a windfall, some unexpected money came and you're like, yes, I'm there. And then bam, out of nowhere, here comes an unexpected bill, some crisis, something happens, you lose the money, whatever it is, and it's just like feast or famine with money with you. And it's been like that for a while. You're just like, my God, I am longing for consistent large amounts of money, like where it's not just this constant buildup and dive. It's just like you're longing to just be on a sailboat on a beautiful lake, no waves whatsoever, just calm and peaceful in your finances. But you realize you're just like on this roller coaster all the time with money. Here's what I want you to know. Whichever one, and I see you guys that you guys are typing, a lot of people are saying A and C, B and C, B, A, all three. I see you guys in the comments. Thank you for always being willing to share. No matter which one of them you relate to or you recognize with, right? You just feel the sense of, I'm disconnected with money. There's something within me that's just disconnected to this financial abundance that I hear about. I believe it's possible. Tasha, I believe it. But it just feels like something like it's like it's in this outlet and I'm not connected to it. No matter which one of those it is, the bottom line is that's just the way you feel. It's like, I'm just not connected to it. And no matter what, I'm not living my financial dreams. That's all I can tell you, Tasha. Maybe I'm all three, but what I'm very clear on is I'm not living my financial dreams. I know that. What I want to explain to you today about money trauma, I want to explain to you how that plays into where you are financially. So thanks those of you that saw Dr. Carolyn Ross last week on Thursday. The video is posted in the Money Attraction community. I interviewed Dr. Carolyn Ross. You want to go watch that. We talked about money trauma, and I spoke to her before the challenge because she's a trauma expert. She specializes in generational traumatic patterns. And so we brought her on and we had this very interesting conversation. I'd invite all of you to find that video and go watch it. But what she shared with us was a definition of trauma that I absolutely love. She says, trauma is your response to an event. And because we're talking about money, we're going to say it was your response to an event that involved money. And it created a lasting imprint in your psychology that has had an impact on you and everything in your life related to money. Another one of our PTSD experts that we've had on here before said, trauma is anything that leaves you feeling less than good. So what tends to happen when people hear trauma is they're like, well, I was in abuse, so I don't have trauma, right? And then when you talk about trauma and money, usually we think trauma, abuse. So it's like conflicting, like trauma and money, but I wasn't abused with money, so I don't get it. So I want you to listen to that definition again. You experienced an event, either directly or indirectly. You experienced an event that involved money, and it left a lasting imprint on you, either emotionally or psychologically. And here is the thing. The event happened. The trauma was caused by how you responded to the event. So your response to what happened could be, that thing happened, I know money was involved, and I felt fear. I felt unloved. I felt unsafe. I felt abandoned. How many of us have had, especially, oh my gosh, so many of us have had a parent who wasn't there, who wasn't present, and we felt abandoned. And we know the other parent is carrying the financial burden, right? So the money is involved, and we know that energetically. And so it's not that the parent was absent, that's so much the cause of the trauma, right? It's your response to it. You felt financially uncared for, abandoned. That it's your response to the event. And it doesn't only happen with things, you don't only have trauma from childhood events. Even as an adult, this year, I had a response to some trauma. This year, a couple months ago, even in doing this work. So I want you to just start to become open to this new understanding of trauma. In fact, Dr. Ross, if she's on here, she shared this thing called, I didn't even know, I've been talking about money trauma just because I do this work. I've seen what's happened in my own life. I've seen what's happened in our clients' lives. And I started to realize, oh my gosh, we're all dealing with trauma related to money. And I would observe some people, they just like get the information and run with it, and they do really well, and others kind of have all this baggage to let go of. And I couldn't understand what was going on. And as I started, things in my own personal life started showing me the answer, I realized we've had some traumatic experiences. That money was involved, and it left an imprint on us financially. And so I want you guys to type this, because you probably have never heard this term until Dr. Ross talked about it last week, but financial traumatic syndrome disorder. So you've heard of PTSD, right? Post-traumatic, I feel like I'm not saying that right. Post-traumatic, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank, but I know what you got. What, Lisa, somebody, can you tell me what the S stands for? I'm wanting to say symptoms, but I think it's syndrome, right? Disorder. Well, you have that same thing with finances. Like you've had a traumatic experience that involved finances. And guess what happens when you have a traumatic experience? You go hands up. No, I don't want any more of that thing that's going to cause me pain. No more, no more, no more. Here is the problem. Internally, you're doing that. Subconsciously, you're doing that. You're like literally hiding because you don't want the pain. You don't want to relive the emotional response to the event. And you know that money was involved. So you're like this inside of you around money. But on the outside of you, you know you desire to have more money. So you keep working harder. You keep trying to figure out what you're doing wrong. You blame yourself. You suffer. You struggle. You do all that. My God, you're doing everything to make more money. While inside, the thing that's more stronger than any amount of work you could ever do is something that's responding to a traumatic event going, I don't want it. I don't want it in my life. And I'm going to share my story with you to show you how this plays out. So at the time of my birth, I did not know this story until a few years ago. But once I realized it, I looked back at my life and I could see. So I want you to hear this because I didn't know about the event. Remember I said sometimes you know about the event, sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you were directly involved, sometimes you were not, which back to Dr. Carolyn, she talks about generational traumatic patterns, stuff that happened with your grandparents and your parents, and it just keeps going on. And you've got all that trauma inside of you, and sometimes you don't even know, right? So for me, I didn't know that this happened. At the time of my birth, my mom was young, unemployed, no possibility for any support. She had been kicked out of her house, her school, everything, because she was pregnant with me. She goes and she asks my dad to help financially. And he says, no, you're going to have to prove that she's mine. So I want you to just think about this. I know nothing about this till I'm in my 40s. I don't know that this happens, right? I go through life. And my entire life is about proving that I am worthy of everything I want. I am working harder than everybody else. I'm a perfectionist. I'm an overachiever. Just like, just constantly in this. I got to prove my worth, prove my value to people. Not aware that this wound started at the time of my birth. I didn't even know that the event had happened, right? But you see how powerful energy is. Of course, it was in my subconscious. Of course, my mom's worry and concern about that transferred down to me. Of course, I lived a life proving this all out. And then I got to a point in life where I made a ton of money. Oh my gosh, overnight I was making more money than I never even dreamed of in my life. 7 figures. And then chapter 11, bankruptcy. Why? Didn't believe I deserved to have all that money. Didn't believe I deserve it. Right? So the self-sabotage just continued. Keep going. I start this business. We're making, actually a really important pivotal point in my journey with this thing with trauma. Because this was an adult trauma. The bankruptcy for me was an adult traumatic moment. And then this other thing. One day, after we have had to give up our business, file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, I am wanting to start a new business. And my husband at the time is saying, you need to go get a job. And I'm like, I'm an entrepreneur. Freedom is my top value. I can't go see myself being employed again. I need to find a business, start a business, do something with all this entrepreneurial spirit I have, right? And he said, you need to contribute to the family. And I said, but who you think's raising these kids? Like taking them to everything, making them, do really well in school, running this household, cooking, cleaning, making sure you have nothing to do in the house. Who do you think's doing that? And he looked at me and he said, I can't put that on our Excel spreadsheet. Right? I can't put all of those things in this budget spreadsheet. And I tell you the story not to make him wrong, but really to say to you, when he said that was the event. Here's the trauma that happened for me. all I heard was validation of my lack of worthiness, right? What he was saying was, what you are doing has no value, not enough value to get into an Excel spreadsheet. And it was just like, see, I'm not worthy. I'm not valuable. And my all that traumatic experience reignited and a new one created now, because now think me getting divorced and going forward in a new relationship, it's like, oh, I want to prove, right from the get-go, I want to prove how valuable I am. And it's all this proving and giving away my power constantly because of this trauma. Can you guys relate? Have you found yourself in any experiences like that? And then it just got worse. I mean, by the grace of God, I was able to start this business with my best friend, serve people, do something I love. We start making a decent income, and I wouldn't pay myself. There'd be months Diane would call me and say, Tasha, you haven't paid yourself. You haven't paid yourself. How many of you are not paying yourselves? You're not paying yourself. You're paying everybody else. Even if you have a job, you pay everybody else, and there's never anything left for you to just do a little something special for you. That's paying yourself too, And so for me, it was back again to, here is I don't want the money. I don't want it. It causes me too much pain, this money. But I'm out there working my behind off. You heard Diane yesterday. She had to tell me, I might not be your friend if you keep working this hard. So I'm working like crazy to make the money. I'm making the money. And even then, I still don't want it. This is the way I used to be. And I wanted to share my story with you guys so that you can start, because I'm now going to list out to you the 13 different money traumas that I have identified with working with people. I wanted you to hear my story because I just want you to see, I'm just like you. I am smart, you're smart. I'm willing to work hard, you're willing to work hard. I want to be responsible with my finances. I know you do too. I have a big financial dream. I just want financial peace and safety and a good life for me and my family. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes to have that. So then why don't I have it? What is wrong with me? You might be asking, like I used to ask, what's wrong with me? Why does it seem like everybody else gets that except me? And all these amazing leaders and influencers that talk about money, and they come at it from all different angles, but until you acknowledge that you have some money trauma and begin the process to heal it and transform it, you're just climbing up a hill that's going to take a long time to get to the top. And I don't want that for you, right? So right now I'm going to read out the 13 different money traumas that I've identified. And what I want you guys to do, let me show you. What I want you guys to do is I want you to go ahead and type 1 to 13. I'm going to list out 13 different ones. And as I list them, whichever one applies to you, I want you to type that number in the comments. Okay, you guys ready? So this is after years of working with people. I've identified this is the trauma that's at play here. A lot of this, actually, before you even start listing, let me tell you, I have all 13 of them. Okay, so many of these came from me first, identifying them within myself, and then seeing them as common amongst our people. So number 1, have you ever had a painful experience that money was involved? Have you ever had a painful experience? Somebody hurt you. Something, it was just, it was hurtful to you, and money was involved. If you've ever had that, then I want you guys to type the number 1. Okay, go ahead and type the number 1. I see you guys typing 1 to 13. Now I want you to listen to each one and only type out the one that's relevant to you, right? So as I list them, if that one's relevant to you, type that number. So painful experience that involved money. For many of us women, one of the ones I find to be most common is divorce. We signed up at some point in our lives for this partner, this spouse that we were going to love forever and ever and ever and ever. We're going to have kids together and build our dreams. And here we are getting divorced because of money or fighting over money. So that's number 1. If that's ever happened, you've had an experience that was like that, go ahead and type number 1. Number two, this one's a powerful one. Someone controlled or manipulated you and money was involved. Someone controlled or manipulated you at some point in your life and money was involved. Um, Gosh, there's so many examples of this one, but it's like I see this a lot of times where people are just in a disadvantaged situation in life and somebody else knows it and they use it to take advantage of them. So a disadvantaged situation, but somebody you knew they were controlling you or manipulating you with money. And what was your response? You knew that. What do you think? What kind of response do you think you're going to have? Number three, family approval linked to money. I can never forget one of the most powerful examples I have of this. I don't know if she's watching, was one of our clients, our family members, Stephanie. When we talked about money trauma, and she said to me, Tasha, my mom straight up favors my sister because she has done well financially. She looks down at me. She talks down at me. She doesn't give me any love and attention because I'm not where she thinks I should be financially. Right? This is like somebody the people you love, your family. Again, this is like my ex-husband, like, I don't approve of you wanting to go live your dreams. How dare you say something like that? Like, what's wrong with you? And I'm not going to approve of you doing that or support you over money. That hurts. So that's number three. Number four, you felt inferior or inadequate because of money. The best example is the comparison syndrome of social media. Literally, you could just go on Facebook right now and have this trauma. Oh, here's this one on vacation. Here's this one posting the perfect body. Here's that one, just not working today, living with their laptop at the beach, whatever. And in your mind, you're like, I don't have the financial wherewithal to be able to do that. So you're feeling inferior in some way, or however this shows up. I'm just giving you guys some examples, but I want you to just think about, I have this inferior feeling, maybe amongst my friends. I spoke to someone recently and she goes, oh, yesterday I spoke to a lady who said, all of my peers are making 20,000, 70,000, 80,000 a month. And I'm just trying to break 4,000. You think that doesn't impact you, but it does. It leaves you feeling less than good. It leaves you feeling like inadequate in some way, right? So that's number three. That was number four. I think I'm up to four, am I? Yeah, four. Okay, because I'm looking at the comments I think are behind. I'm looking. So that was number four. Awesome. All right. Family. Number five is you felt like a prisoner. You felt burdened or trapped. You stayed in a situation or you're staying in a situation because of money. Another thing that causes this trauma every single month, every day. What do we think about the most? Our debt. Every day you live that trauma. Every single moment of every day. You're in a traumatic experience when you think about this debt that has you feeling like a prisoner and feeling trapped. So that's number five. Number six, you've been excluded in some way. So, it might not be with your family, but in some way you've had an exclusion because of money. So for me, I really just healed this recently. I felt like growing up, I couldn't be friends with the girls that were smarter. And why were they smarter? I felt because they had more money and they had access to better education. And I just couldn't hang with them. I couldn't be their friends. And so I felt excluded from the girls that were popular. There's so many layers of that one for me that I've had years and years and years of healing. And this past summer, I think I finally put the finishing touches on that one. So if there's something in your life that's happened and you felt excluded in some way because of money, another way that this happens is wills getting read, and it's like, wow, I thought something was going to be here, or they've excluded me in some way and money was involved. Another one is you made money choices. So this is number seven. You made money choices that you deeply regret. Have you ever made money choices that you deeply regret? Whether you loaned someone money, you made an investment that didn't work out, whatever it might be, you deeply regret it and money was involved. You have a lot of regret and resentment and anger around a financial decision that you've made. That's number 7. Number 8, you watch love and harmony disappear over money. So for those of you that have had, one of our clients recently, her mom passed away, and the loving family that they had overnight turned into like World War III because money was involved, a lot of money. And of course, that's going to cause you trauma, right? So you watch love and harmony disappear over money. Choices in life. This happens, by the way, that happens with siblings and all kinds of other situations. Those of us that are from third world countries, and I've never seen people fight so much over land that has no value whatsoever. Like the land is so insignificant, but they're all thinking about the money they could get from it, whether it's big or small. It's just that it's worth some money. And so the loving family, they're all going to fight for their little fraction of it, So things like that. Number 9, choices in life that you made and you feel guilty or ashamed of, and money was involved. You made some choices in your life and you feel ashamed of them. You feel ashamed of yourself. You feel guilty and money was involved. That's number 9. All right. Guys are typing so fast, so I want to keep up. Number 10. Big one, big one. Raise my hands. Remember, I told you I've had all of these. Okay, so number 10, you had lots of money and lost it. Or one lady that I met last year, her family came from a lot of money. Like I think she said her dad was the president of the central bank of her country, and they lost it all. You know what I found interesting? Later on in her life, she was now married, and her partner's family from a totally different part of the world. They meet in a central location. So she's from Europe, he's from South America. They meet in a central location, and guess what she attracted? A man with the exact family background. His family, also well-renowned, and had lost everything. I want you to see that this is all related. You can't hide from your trauma. You can't. You have to heal it. Right? So this is how it shows up. Number 11, you are shamed over money. Why do you want more money? What's wrong with you? Why are you crazy? Why are you thinking you're going to become financially free? You want to be a millionaire. What is wrong with you? Are you crazy? Like, why can't, one of my clients said her mom, oh my gosh, this broke my heart. She said as a child, she would always dream. And then as she became an adult and started pursuing those dreams, her mom asked her, what's wrong with you? Why can't you just be satisfied with what you have? Right? So shamed over money. I know a lot of people suffer with this too, with their religious beliefs. Shamed and made wrong because you desire to have financial abundance, which by the way is your birthright and what God wants for you. Number 12, you've experienced a point in your life where life was really hard. You had to suffer or struggle because of money. Yeah, you're going to be angry at money. Of course. You know why you're in that situation is because you don't have the financial means and the financial well-being. This is me when I sat on my kitchen floor for a year and cried every single day in fear because I didn't know where money was going to come from to support me and my kids. Right? And I knew the only reason I'm sitting on this kitchen floor and worrying is because I don't have the amount of money that I need. Number 13, the last one. You feel like you failed, or you feel like you're not where you should be financially. So I'm going to look now and I want to see you guys. I want you to type now out of the 13 that I listed. Oh, look at the time. Oh my gosh. Out of the 13 that I listed, how many of them do you have? Out of the 13, how many of them do you have? And here's what I want you to know. And guys, I want you to type this after you've heard that. I want you to type It's not my fault. It's not my fault. All of the struggles and the worrying and everything that I'm going through, it's not my fault. And here's why it's not your fault. I'm going to read to you some of the things that happens when your brain has experienced trauma or is currently in a traumatic experience related to something. You become suspicious. This is too good to be true. It might cause me pain. Right? This is your brain. You want more money. Here comes an opportunity, but you're like, I don't know. Do you ever find yourself doing that? I don't know. But this too good to be true all the time. Too good to be true. No, no, no. Or, you know what? I'm going to stay away from this because I don't even realize I'm thinking this, but I just feel something inside me just feels queasy. Like what that is that thing inside of you going, it might cause me pain. So I'm going to be suspicious of it. You're not trusting yourself or trusting others with money. No trust. This is what happens inside. You have no trust. You become addictive. You do addictive things with money, frivolous spending. You self-sabotage yourself. You get the best opportunities, the best everything. You have the perfect clients no matter what. Money comes no matter how it comes, and you find that you self-sabotage yourself. You procrastinate. You don't do what you need to do. You are scattered and distracted all the time in the actions that you need to take that could create more money. You lack motivation to fulfill your financial dreams. It's like, I want more money, but my God, I'm just exhausted. I have no energy to even try. You lack belief that it can happen to you. Your brain is going, oh my gosh, that trauma thing has frizzled me out, and I don't even have an ounce of belief. Yeah, it'll happen for everybody else, but not me. This is what happens to your brain. You lack feeling safe when it comes to money. Anybody ever felt that? It's like, I just can't feel safe with money. You criticize yourself and your financial success. You're self-critical a lot about how you manage money, what you do with it, how you make it. You're just always judging yourself. You're emotionally cut off. You feel disconnected when it comes to thinking about your financial dreams. You just don't feel safe. It doesn't make you feel good when you think about lots of money. Or here's the biggest one that's happening to you psychologically. You abandon your financial hopes and dreams. Why would you abandon your financial hopes and dreams? Because a traumatic experience, a result of it is, I just don't even want to go there. Too much pain, too much hurt. If after you hear those 13 money traumas and you hear what's happening to your brain, if you are now beginning to see, oh my gosh, Tasha, now I get it. It all makes sense. Now I see why I'm on the hamster wheel. Now I see why I'm in the washing machine. Now I see why my finances is always like a roller coaster. Go ahead and just type that. Give yourself permission to just say, I see it. It's not my fault. And give yourself permission to release the guilt and the shame about what's happening with your finances because you experienced some trauma. Right? Go ahead and type that now. Now, the thing about this is, I shared with you guys yesterday, I made it smaller so we can see, right? We talked about money moments. So I want you to see, this is where the trauma occurred, right? You had a moment in your life. That's where the trauma occurred. That trauma created a story that you have about money. And yesterday I said, I want to invite you to work on changing the story, right? Because the story you're telling determines your financial results. It determines how much money you're going to have in the bank and how much money you're going to have in the future. So yesterday I said, I invited you guys, and I think, oh my gosh, close to 100 of you said, yes, Tasha, I want you to show me how to work on my money story. So, right, I invited you, come on this journey with us, come into this program. Let me work on your money story. But for many people, once I tell you about the money trauma, you're like, well, that event happened. It's already happened. I can't change it. So I'm stuck in this life sentence because I've had some trauma. And I'm always, if this is where it starts, I'm always going to have to be battling with it. Well, today I want to say, not true. When you think of trauma, I want you to think, like Dr. Carolyn says, of transformation. It can be healed. It can be transformed. And so I want to give you all right now step number 1 in the healing of your trauma. I don't want to just bring it up and leave you be. I want to give you step number 1. Ready? Step number 1 is to just acknowledge, at last, I have money traumas. I have 13 of them, and they're huge. I feel the emotion in my body. I'm feeling it talking to you right now. I feel the emotion, the weight, the pressure. Now I understand it's all coming up. I can feel it. So number 1 is to acknowledge it. Number 2, let's heal it. Simple prayer. And this is a prayer you say to yourself. I'm aware that I have these money traumas. My desire is to heal myself. And you just say your name. So for me, it's Tasha. I love you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you've had these experiences. Please forgive me for the way I responded, the experiences, the things I put myself in. Just please forgive me for all of it. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Immediately, you're going to feel a shift and the healing begin. Right? So that's step number 1. But I want to ask you, what if I could show you that you're not trapped with this event? You're not trapped. Yeah, the event happened, but remember, trauma is based on how you responded to it. What if I could show you how to change how you responded? And I could make that change last you forever. Can you see how if you could change the way you responded in the moment where you introduce fear and worry and anxiety and all those things that now cause you to block money, if I could show you how to go back and change the way you responded, how you would become in total control of your life. You would begin to live past the trauma. That's why I can tell you all my traumatic stories. That's why I've gotten to where I've gotten, because I have figured out how to do the work to change the way I responded and to change it in a way that lasts forever. Now, somebody, whenever we do money trauma, your question is going to be, Tasha, how can I do that? Tell me right now. I wish I could tell you, here is a pill, you can do it. What I can tell you is, I'm going to show you so many things about money, but one of the big ones is I'm going to show you how to completely take control, take back your life, change that moment, change what you did in the moment, how you responded, the things that have played out since then in your mind, in your psychology. Go rewire it so it lasts you forever. If you can appreciate, if you're listening to me and you can appreciate that is going to require guidance and support and an expert who has done it, and you know that you want that makes sense to you, you get it, you know that you want it, then I want you guys, I've been telling you since yesterday, hang on a second. I've been telling you since yesterday, we are opening up our 120-day money and profit mastery program. And in that program is where I'm going to show you how to do that. This is actually, in fact, I want to do a special masterclass for the first 50 people that get enrolled just on this. The first 50 people that get enrolled, yes, you're going to get everything in the program, but the first 50 of you, I want to do an extra special, like give you special hands-on time with showing you how to do this. So if you know this money trauma thing has kept you prisoner long enough, you want to live beyond it, go ahead and type helpmegetrich.com or click the link in the comments. You should see a link that says book a call, book your call. Listen, guys, I want to be transparent with you. We're not going to get on the phone to sell you. I'm not interested in selling you into something. What I want you to do right now is to decide if it would be worth it to you to live beyond these traumas, to stop being in that washing machine, to stop being on that hamster wheel, to stop being in the roller coaster with your money. And if it is, then go ahead and book a call. Let's talk about getting you on this journey. All right? No sales here. Just an invitation to change your life. I said last night, you are one conversation away from making this right forever. And now I want to share some stories with you. Two people. One I absolutely love because we don't have too many guys that jump in and do this work. But this man here, Mr. Lamont Gwynn, hang on, let me take this off so people can see your name. There he is. This amazing man right here, I met last year. He did the money attraction challenge, did this money trauma work, saw this come up, and like bells started going off. Ding, ding, ding. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And I'm not even gonna prompt you, Lamont. I would love for you to share, what you realized about being a little boy watching your parents with money and how the trauma that created for you and how it then played out in your life.
Sure, sure. Thank you for having me on, Tasha.
You're welcome.
So, as a child, watching my parents hide from the bill collector when they came knocking at the door, hide. So the bill collector man, or when they called not picking up the phone, the bill collector man became the bad man. It's the man that you run away from.
Mm.
And as a child, I never associated that when you purchase things and when you have bills, there's an exchange that happens. So parents never taught me, and I'm talking about a very young age. Eventually I learned it, but I did not know that I had the trauma until in my adult life, I started to replay those same things. I would get things and not pay them and run from the collector. When there were big bills, big numbers in my face, I would just run. I don't want to deal with that. It got to the point that I had a situation where I had to pay $10,000 in order to get my driver's license back, and for me to get that, I spent 3 years not wanting to deal with that because it just seemed so big. Once I joined your community, it helped me to see that, okay, this is a trauma, but it's something that can be fixed. And having joined your community, I've never felt so relieved and so good about paying outstanding debt. Paying outstanding balances. Outstanding balances, paying outstanding balance. I've never felt so good. And whenever I pay an outstanding balance, I always say, thank you. I want more because I want to be able to pay that outstanding. I want to be able to pay that outstanding balance down. I'm going to pay it down. So I love being in this space. It's really interesting. Some time ago, I signed onto my bank account and I did double take. Like, wait a minute, where did that money come from?
Like,
it was money that was there, and I knew it was there. But in that moment, because my bank balance has always been low, it surprised me for a minute because I wasn't fully awake at the time. And I'm like, wait a minute, and I said, well, no, you're fine. That money belongs there. That's your money. So, yeah, getting through those money challenges and you helping me to get through those money traumas, you helping me get through that has been such a relief. Like I feel this freeness that I can attract money, that I'm not going to waste it. But with my outstanding balances, I can be in command and I can take care of them.
The thing that I love the most about your story is when I met you and we were doing the first part of the program where I teach you how to write intentions, you sent me a picture of yours and it was literally like you had figured out down to the penny how much money you need so that you could do this, this, and this. And I was like, wait a minute, if you know how to do that, why are you here? Like, right? I was like, let's just work on the end game. What do you really want? And you were like, I want my debt, my outstanding balances gone. I want my driver's license back. I want, right? You really just went to, this is the result of having the money that I want.
Right.
And what I love is every time you're on Clubhouse or you call me or you text me, the unexpected ways in which the money has come, right? No, but you could have never imagined how those things would have worked out for you.
Yeah, it's been incredible. From I saw an email that said you may have missing money, and usually it was a spam email, and usually I just delete them. But I was in your program, I'm like, wait a minute, that could be talking to me. And I did the we did the research, and sure enough, there was a check for me. So, having money show up in unexpected ways, or people saying yes to my business when I set the price at what I feel I deserve.
Yes, sir. What
That's
I
that's
deserve.
right. That's when that's where the magic happens. That's when you're I'm in a good space with money.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for helping with my money
Mwah.
promise.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, Miss Lisa. Hello, girl. Oh my gosh, hang on a second. So, guys, there it is, helpmegetrich.com. I want to make sure you guys have that. But I want you to see Lisa's name in case you want to reach out to her on Facebook too. So, Lisa, tell
Yeah.
the people, tell the people. You are probably one of my heart is so full. You're always telling me, Tasha, thank you for showing up and doing the work, because where you were last year when you did the challenge. So, tell everyone.
Yes. So, um, thank you again, and thank you for having me on. So, where I was last year when I started the challenge was I was in a space where I'm like, there has to be an easier way. I was like, I'm paycheck to paycheck. I don't want to work multiple jobs. And another thing for me was like I'm single, no kids, you know. And so there's just this huge financial responsibility on me, and I was also in a living situation that I didn't want to be in. And I know there are some people out there that can relate to that money has them stuck. One of the traumas of being stuck in a situation that you just don't want to be in. And so I'm like, there has to be an easier way. And I remember just laying in the bed thinking, like, what am I going to do? And I had seen your ad pop up. I attracted it. And I saw your ad pop up and I like ignored it. I ignored it probably 2 or 3 times. And then something in me was like, I keep showing you this because this
Mm,
is what you've asked for.
mm,
So I signed up for the challenge. I said, yes, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it. I'm just going to see what happens. Signed up for it. And when I said yes, like money started flowing in easy and like unexpectedly. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is happening? And then I did. I remember that challenge so vividly, but I remember when we got to the day where you talked about the about money trauma. And I had 7 of those. And I was just like, wow. And I remember sitting there with tears streaming down my face. I'm like, this is real. Someone gets it. Someone understands. There's a way out. And I was just filled with so much gratitude. And I'll tell you this. Like I told you guys, I literally was like paycheck to paycheck. If it was paycheck to paycheck. But
mm.
what I knew is that I had to do something and I didn't care what it took. And I said yes to the 120 days without any idea how I was going to pay for it. But I said yes, and it was the best yes I ever said. It truly has been the best thing that has ever happened to me, and the best yes that I said, because I was like, I don't know how, I don't care how, like, I'm going to do this. And my yes in faith allowed the money to just flow in order to pay for the program and extra, more than I asked for. I remember I remember during our first week of the program, we set intentions in 4 areas, like Tasha said. And so I set my intention for 10K a month and manifested it several times. So
10K a month, you guys, from the paycheck to paycheck scenario to writing a powerful intention. Remember, I keep telling you guys, it's about how to do it. There is a
right,
right way to do it that makes it work. So there you go. Write your powerful intention, 10K a month.
10K a month. And not only that, Tasha, like, it's not just the 10K a month. During the money attraction challenge, you gave us some money to spend. And so I was like, I want a white Mercedes. Now, you guys, at the time I was making like 45,000 a year or something like that. So I was not making a lot of money. So that's why when I go to like 10K a month, I'm like, you guys, it's a huge leap. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I want a white Mercedes. And so trusted the process, did what Tasha told me. A couple of months later, not only am I out of a living situation that I don't want to be in, I'm in a luxury apartment and I manifested my Mercedes.
I cannot forget that day when you posted that white Mercedes thing. I was like, what? What?
Yes.
Oh
And
my God.
exactly the way I wanted it. It's white with light interior at the payment that I want. They discounted the car $10,000. Talking about easy and relaxed. Like, and the guy said the word easy. Remember, I said the rest of you when he was like, I'm gonna make it easy. I was like, wow, like this, like I know this works, but when you walk in and someone speaks your language, it's like boom. So
Oh my
so
God.
great. And just one other thing I want to share outside of that, and even like what I've gained over the last year, not only being able to navigate the contrast that comes up, is an amazing family. During the 120 days, I lost my brother and my father. My mother passed away in 2018. What I gained during that time was so much more than the money. The support, amazing. Like, they're still my friends. Like, you'll see them in the comments. They're like, hey, Lisa, hey, girl.
You have
And
friends
like,
all over the world now because of this,
right.
right?
I have
Yeah.
friends all over the world, like international support and cheering you on in a safe place. Like, no one in my circle is like, oh, you dream too big, oh, this, oh, that, or even let you stay stuck in your stuff. They all encourage and support. And I like, when I say I love my money family, like when I type that in the comments, I mean it, you guys. Like, you guys are the bomb, okay? Such an amazing place to be in. And I'm grateful. Like, I'm so grateful, Tasha, because, and I said this before, like you said, like I almost didn't do it. We were at the beginning of a pandemic and you were like, is this the right time? Should I do it? And I'm like, where would I have been? And not only that, my friends, my new friends, like, where would we have been if you said no? Like, I'm not going to do it. I'm like, I would have suffered so much longer. And where I tried to be over the past however many years to get to that place, like my life was completely different in 4 months and even better in 6 months. And then now we're looking at a year later and I lost my job back in April. Let me back up. Lost my job back in April. Okay. Support from my money family, amazing. Like Tasha's cheering. Other people are excited. Like,
I know. She's like, I lost my job. I'm like, yes! I know what this means. I know what it means, right? Your dreams, what you really want to do is being given to you in this appearance of I've
right.
lost my job, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so literally within 4 hours manifested something so much better. 4 hours, you guys, 4 hours, because I quickly moved from the contrast from the principles and the tools that I was given in the program. 4 hours later, manifested something better. And I was not even stressed out. Like when I lost my job, you guys, I wasn't stressed out. I was just like, all right, I trust that everything always works out for me. It always works out for my highest good. And it did 4 hours later. And then even now, you guys, I literally have manifested the most amazing life. Like, I'm so grateful. I recently launched like my dream boutique, something that's been in my heart for like 3 years. Like, off we went last week, launched a boutique, and it's been great. So I just want you guys to know that it's possible to have the life that you want. Like, it is possible to heal. It is possible to be surrounded about amazing people. And these traumas, like, I just, when Tasha was talking about them, I felt this little residue inklings in my body, like this emotion, and then this amazing sense of gratitude that the trauma that was realized, and I posted this like earlier this year, trauma that's realized is trauma that can be healed. And so, yeah, super grateful for all of that. And I'm the crybaby. You notice I was like drying my eyes. We all know that I'm going to cry, but the gratitude is so sincere and real. And I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys that are going to jump in for the 120 days and join this amazing family in a different way.
I love you. Look at me. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at the time. We have to go. We've been on here for an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Guys, what I want you to hear from everyone, and let you see Lisa's name again, right? So there it is, Lisa C. Elias. That's the way she is on Facebook. We're an open book around here, so feel free to reach out to anyone that you see on here. But what I want you to hear is Lisa was living from her traumas. She was living from her traumas, and that was look at her. She's bright. She's amazing. She's smart. She's super intelligent. She's a go-getter, not living the life that she was intended to live. And all that was missing was knowing how to get to what she wanted, the steps to take to get there. And what I love is that Lisa did this program, the 120 days a year ago, and she continues to use the tools to create the life she wants. She just keeps going. That's the thing about this investment. It's going to last you for the rest of your life. Because you are going to now live the story you want to live and change your response to the trauma so that now actually it works for you. That's what gets me excited. Yeah, you are no longer prisoner. You're all free. Freedom. You're all free from all of it. So I'm going to go because we have to jump on calls. The doors are officially open. Welcome, welcome. Go ahead and type helpmegetrich.com or the link in the comments. Book your call. You guys, you don't want to miss this. And the first 50 of you that say yes and are enrolled, I'm going to do something special for you with that money trauma event and show you how to change your response. All right. Mwah. I love you. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 12. Thanks, Lisa. Thanks, Lamont. Bye, everyone. Happy afternoon. See you tomorrow.